It starts small. A wrapper on the ground, a bottle in the ocean, one bag left behind. But over time, it adds up. Every year, we create over 2 billion tons of waste. That's enough to fill thousands of skyscrapers, and most of it does not go away. Plastic takes hundreds of years to break down. It spreads into the rivers, into oceans, and into forests. It hurts the wildlife, entrenched by what we have left behind. One piece at a time, we're filling their stomachs with plastic instead of food, and it now is on us. In the air, in the water, and in the food that we eat. As trash builds up, it leaks chemicals into the soil, it pollutes our water, and it poisons the very ground that we grow food on. Trash we make today shapes the world our children will live in tomorrow. Trash does not disappear, but our chance to act on it might. Trash is everywhere. You simply may not be able to recognize it. Go ahead and take a look at this photo. Now, take a couple of seconds and try to identify all the pieces of trash. Done? Well, if you decide to take a careful look, you would be able to identify 18 pieces, both on the street and on the sidewalk. And I decided to go clean up this area. It took me around 12 minutes. 12 minutes is enough time for 111 tons of litter to be produced across the globe. Now, before going any further, let's define trash. Well, the Oxford Dictionary defines trash as discarded matter or refuse. Now, this definition shows us a very broad understanding of trash. Now that we have addressed that, according to the Environmental Protective Agency, in 2018 there was a total of 292.4 million tons of waste produced in the US alone. The three major contributors of this being paper at 23.05%, food at 21.6%, and plastics at 12.20%. One thing I need to highlight before moving on is that getting accurate numbers about litter is almost impossible. Sources clash, and the truth is the problem is bigger than we even realize. Every day, the United States alone produces mountains of trash, and yes, while this is a huge problem, there are many efforts that fight back. Organizations like Keep America Beautiful have helped to collect over 31,000 pounds of litter, and thousands more groups around the world work every day to clean our planet. But despite all that work, we're losing. Our trash production crushes our cleanup efforts, and it's not a race that we are winning, it's a flood that we're drowning in. At this point, simple action isn't enough. Only a massive systematic change in how we live can pull us out of this disaster. Today, I'll explore how technology could be the only way to save us from a world already half scorched by our own waste. Engineering is transforming how we deal with the generation of waste already, impacting our lives every day in ways we likely don't even consider. In Los Angeles, we put weekly trash into our household trash cans, but do we ever consider where it goes? The reality is that most of it finds its way to landfills or recycling facilities, yet engineering is involved in each stage of this process, from the design of the bins themselves to the functioning of the plants that process the waste. And outside of disposal, engineering has even developed solutions that address waste reduction before it even starts. Companies like Notpia are developing seaweed packaging as a substitute for plastic, and smart fridges are minimizing food waste by streamlining storage and consumption. Even artificial intelligence driven software such as AMP's material detection technology is changing the recycling sector, increasing recycling efficiency and levels. Such engineering efforts, when repeated and multiplied, can lead us toward a cleaner future. Inspired by these ideas, I decided to create my own small project, a simple but meaningful rework of the everyday trash can. I designed a switch system that opens a trapdoor from the bottom, making disposal and pickup faster, cleaner, and more efficient. At first glance, it might not seem like much. It's just one small improvement to something people use every day. But even something small can be the start of something bigger, because change doesn't always come from grand inventions or billion-dollar companies. Sometimes it starts with a simple idea, an idea that, when shared, refined, and multiplied, can shift the way we live. Although nothing big, it's still a step in the right direction, a small but powerful reminder that innovation begins with someone willing to rethink the ordinary. Because, without immediate large-scale action, the damage caused by our waste and pollution will soon become irreversible. As a side note, people with higher incomes usually end up creating the most trash. Now, it's not because they're trying to, it's just that living a more consumer driven life means buying more stuff, and buying more stuff means throwing more away. And the thing is, it's not just about how much trash we make, it's also about where it ends up. Sometimes people litter just because they're careless, but homelessness is a big part of the story too. A study shows that homelessness actually increases the likelihood for people to litter on the street. When you don't have access to trash cans or basic services, waste naturally starts to pile up around you. In the grand scheme of things, the United States really produces the most garbage per person worldwide. Overall, garbage production is much higher in China and India, although this is only because of their larger populations. Waste has become a major issue in America because of our higher consumption patterns, disposable culture, and unreliable recycling infrastructure. And we must be the ones to take the responsibility of solving it. At the end of the day, the world we're building is the one we'll have to live in. Every piece of trash, every choice we make, it all adds up. We can't fix everything overnight, but if enough of us start caring, start trying, we can still change where we're headed. The trash we make today shapes the world our children will live in tomorrow. Trash does not disappear, but our chances to act might.